Oh no, the recording just now started? Oh well, praise the
I'm
Lord.
so sorry. And I know, baby, I am so sorry. You
It's
know,
all right.
I'm just freshly coming back. But
Okay.
you guys, I'm going to go ahead and lock this conference room down because we have some, fun people again. But our guest is in here. And so, I'm going to lock it down. If everybody wants to hear it, they can listen to the replay. So sorry about that.
Okay, so just as I was saying, even for people that are just coming on, when we get close to this RV date, people get nervous. They start looking for any kind of truth that they can hear from this intel or that intel. And like a dog that gets hungry enough and desperate enough they'll eat anything rotten, even if it's lies, even if it's falsehood. And that's how we tend to do sometimes as people. We all get so nervous because we're motivated by fear. And I know a lot of people are afraid of, like, okay, what will happen to us? What's going to happen to me if this RV does not go through? And so the tendency is to run to any intel that will give you any sign of hope, because you're so hungry for any kind of information that you're absolutely willing to believe a lie and to open yourself up to confusion, disagreement, discords. But, I really want to tell you that if we can't recognize truth before we get this RV, before we get this blessing, it's like, how on earth are we going to be able to recognize truth after you get this blessing? Money highlights your own dysfunction. And for some of us that are running around from room to room to room to room to hear, what's the latest news? What are they saying? Some of you may end up losing your money just as fast as you received it because you don't discern truth. And you can't stay away from scandalous talk. And you get right in the middle of fights over words. And you let, and false speakings. You let that rob yourself of your peace and your sound mind and your joy. But I'm here to tell you today that we have to learn how to follow peace and reject false prophecy. Psalms 34:13, it says, seek peace and pursue it. It doesn't say follow confusion, follow speculation, follow your frustrations, follow gossip or rumors or lies. It doesn't say anything like that. It says follow and pursue peace. And that's what the leading of the Holy Spirit does. I mean, oh my God, the Holy Spirit is so amazing. Oh my God. If you're not following the Holy Spirit, you're totally missing out on life. Because the way that the Holy Spirit works, he doesn't just work, when you're listening, in church to the scriptures and to the sermon, but he will speak to you even when you're receiving information. If you learn to listen to the voice behind the voice that you're listening to. See, the Holy Spirit is the voice behind the voice. Every voice that you hear, every person speaking information to you, you'll be able to hear or sense the peace of God or the spirit of peace, that what they're saying is truth. The Holy Spirit will witness that into your spirit. You are his sheep and you know his voice. And the Bible tells you that the voice of a stranger you are not to follow. You're not supposed to follow a voice that leaves you in confusion or leaves you, just frustrated or worried or fearful. You're supposed to follow the Holy Spirit. Now, when I first got in this thing again, in this game again, the Lord really, really spoke to me right off the bat, because I was going around from room to room too, from intel room to intel room, trying to compare information, trying to learn, what is the RV, what's this stuff about. And I'll just share with you two things that the Holy Spirit gave me that really helped me stay grounded and to really stay in him and to hear truth. The first thing he showed me is that some intel groups, and I'm not going to mention any names, none, not at all. I'm not going to shame people. But some intel groups, they don't stand behind their own words. They disqualify themselves from the information that they give out. They say they'll give you some information and then they'll say, well, we'll see what happens. Time will tell. It could be that this is going to happen. Well, I don't know. And what they're really saying to you is this information that I just gave you, I don't know if it's real, and I don't stand behind it myself, you know. And you know, guys, you can't follow that. You get no peace out of somebody that's saying, well, time will tell. Well, we'll see. No. Where's the peace of the Holy Spirit? That leaves a big question mark in my heart when you tell me, we'll see. And that shows me that you don't believe your own information. So why should I believe it? This is what the Holy Spirit told me. I'm telling you the truth. The second thing is, you know, you want to follow intel that stands behind the news that they give to you. You know, they say simple things like, okay, guys, here's the information. This is what I'm hearing. This is what they told me. And I really believe it could be it. Let's hold on. Let's focus. Let's see if that's what's going to happen. You know, and, you know, but if it doesn't happen, if the news changes, they will tell you. But you'll hear it in the words. You'll hear it in their own words that they stand behind the information that they give to you. They don't disqualify themselves from their own remarks. That's how you can know what's truthful and what's not truthful. Now, let me say another thing, and with this I will close and just close in prayer. And this may offend some people, so watch out. You may be offended. If you are, you know, I stand behind what I'm saying. So everyone has the right to believe what they choose to believe. I respect your belief. You know, here is my belief. I believe according to the Word of God. I want to speak very shortly about those that are preaching this message on the galactics. Galatians 1, 6 through 10, it says, oh my gosh, it's Paul speaking. He's like, oh my gosh, everybody, I'm astonished that you are so quickly deserting the one who called you to live in the grace of Christ, and you're turning to a different gospel that really is no gospel at all. For I see people, you know, that are throwing you into confusion and trying to pervert the gospel of Christ. But even if this is Paul, the great apostle Paul, one of the leaders of the church, he says, even if I or an angel from heaven should preach another gospel other than the one that we preach to you, let them be accursed. And as we said before, now he's saying it again, the second time. He's saying, I'm saying it again, people. If anyone preaches to you a gospel contrary to the one you embraced from me, let him be under a divine curse. Now, I've been on some of these galactic calls because, like I told you in the beginning, I was following everybody's calls, trying to figure out this whole thing. And in some of the galactic calls, I heard, you know, they're talking about an age of Aquarius that's descending and a new enlightenment that's coming and all these other, you know, really amazing things. But I don't hear them talking about the second coming of Jesus Christ, who's coming to judge the living and the dead, who's coming to rule as king, and who will defeat the Antichrist. In fact, I don't even hear them talking about Jesus Christ at all, or even mentioning the Antichrist for that matter. I mean, the term anti means against Christ, right? It's like I hear messages about spiritual entities and forces that are coming to evolve and change the world. Okay, I get that. But their message discludes any mention of the supreme lordship of Jesus Christ. In fact, there is no mention of his rulership at all. This, my friend, is another gospel. It does not acknowledge or confess the lordship of Jesus Christ. It is an antichrist spirit. Now, what does Paul say? Let's go right back to the scriptures before you throw a tomato in my face and tell me, oh, you know, Tamara, you know, oh, you know, this is, what are you saying, blah, blah, blah. The scripture says, but even if I, Paul, or an angel from heaven, or an angelic or spirit beings should preach another gospel other than the one preached to you, let him be under God's curse. Now, what is the gospel that Paul was preaching? He preached Christ is crucified, Christ is resurrected, and Christ is coming again. And so we have to stay with what the Spirit of the Lord is saying to the church. And this is why on the calls that go with the galactic teaching, I don't believe a word that they say, because it's not coming out of the Spirit of the Lord Jesus Christ. And this is how I want to help you to recognize what is truth. Whatever goes, the Bible says that in the last time, some of us will abandon the faith and follow deceiving spirits taught by doctrines of demons. We are in the last days. Follow the Lord Jesus Christ. Hear the voice behind the voice in every intel that you're listening to. The Holy Spirit will witness in your spirit that what you're hearing is truth. And this is the message that I want to relay to you today. Now, Father, we lift up in the name of Jesus this entire group of those of us that are waiting for the RV, not only on this call, but in the entire Dinar community. And we ask you, Lord, that you are the one that leads us and guides us into all truth. We thank you for the Spirit of truth over this call, and we ask for the Spirit of truth to lead all of those who will hear truth. And we thank you for it now. In Jesus' name we pray. And everybody that believes this, say amen, and everybody who doesn't, just say, oh my. Amen. Thank you, Lord.
Amen. Amen. Ha. Good teaching. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
So I, it's a really good thing that you're trying to, instill upon us as well, because we have to be at peace when this rolls. I'm going to unlock the conference. I got people mad at me. Hopefully we don't get these same fun people back. I don't want to, make everybody wait, but I want to call in our fancy Nancy. I think we've all really missed her. And I know that we've all missed DB. And, it's good to be close with a lot of these people, because I think for me, this is where it all started for me, is with Nancy, Dizzy Bear. And, my heart has always been with them. And, I've always just wanted to, sort out the truth on the intel and stuff that's been kind of going through all the rooms and going through all the conferences and stuff. And, I'm going to bring Nancy in, and I want you all to come in and just welcome her, because, she hasn't been feeling well, and she ran conferences for quite some time. And I completely know, how tiring it is now. I totally just highly respect her for her hard work that she has done, because I got worn out. So feel free to come in the queue, *6, if you want to talk with Nancy, and we'll bring you in. Anybody else that has any other kind of questions, I'm going to ask you to exit the queue for right now, because I want to bring Nancy in and let you guys talk with her a little bit, because we've all missed her, okay? So, Nancy, are you with us?
I am. Can you hear me?
How are you?
I'm here.
Clearly.
Good. How is everybody? I miss everybody, too.
Oh, man, it's been a ride.
Hopefully this is going to be over soon.
It has been a ride.
Soon. It has.
Yes. How are you feeling?
And I know a lot longer for other people. I feel fine. I have this little issue every once in a while where I get a racing heart, and I have to go into the ER for them to get it back to normal. And that's what I did yesterday. And then once it goes back to normal, I'm fine. And so part of it probably was my fault, because I wasn't taking my medicine like I should be. I hate taking drugs, So, yeah, I guess I have to take them. They said, you have to take them. You have to take them. Okay.
Well, I think you're a rebel like I am. I don't like to take that stuff either. And they're throwing all these illnesses at us, So I'm gonna.
They could do an ablation, and I don't want to have that done. So I'm going to have to take the medicine. So
I think there'll be a cure soon. It just legally has to be put in, to our country. So I'm saying just hold out, and anybody out there, let's just say some prayers for our Nancy. She's been the solid rock in a lot of this for all of us, and she she put us all on the track of Dizzy Bear, and I want to thank you for that personally, because I think Dizzy has taught us a lot. So
Yeah.
I'm going to, if you don't mind, Nance, I know you're tired and everything. I know you had a long day yesterday.
No, I don't mind. I don't have anything going on today, so it's not a problem.
Excellent.
So
any of you guys that are
going on. I do have a lot going on because people are calling me and emailing me wanting to know what I think about what Ray Wren said. So, I don't know. Do you want me to talk about this now, or do you want me to wait until after people come in? What do you want me to do?
Yeah, no, I mean, you and I just, checked briefly about it, and I want everybody out there to know Nancy is not trying to badmouth Ray Wren or Tony or anyone.
No.
I'll do it. If I have to do it, I'll do it. Because I've had a lot of emails as well. They completely threw everybody off track. So anything you're comfortable with talking about is greatly appreciated.
I'm going to say this, that they believe, who's ever giving them the information, they believe to be credible. And so they're responding to and telling everybody what they heard. The only thing that bothers me is that the simple fact that who's ever telling them that information knows that they talk to the masses, and what is the reason for that? I don't believe, and everybody's entitled to their opinions, okay? I have never heard before, ever, and I talk to a lot of people, and I'm involved in a private Zim exchange myself and have never been told what they are saying, that you're only going to get $10 million. That's it. Never.
Right.
Never. I've been told, yes, these private, understand this, the private Zim deals will only take $50 trillion and $100 trillion. But when you go to the bank, they're going to take all of your Zimbabwe, not just the $50 trillion and the $100 trillion. It is only for the private deals. They just want to buy 50 and 100 trillion. But as I said, when we RV, they'll take it all. And I don't know what the rates are going to be, and I don't know what the rules are going to be. We'll find out when we go to the bank. That's why I don't want anybody to get all upset about what they're saying, because they don't even know. They're being told by somebody that they think is credible, okay? If I weren't involved in private Zimbabwe deals, and I know of many that have gone on, and what the rules have been for that, it isn't anything what they're saying. So I know private deals are different than the actual RV, but I have been told the actual RV that they will take. I mean, it would make sense. Do you think the bank's going to turn you down if you have $100 million or if you have $10 million? No. They're going to turn that away? I don't think so. I don't think so. They're going to want it. They want to make money, okay? So,
I think that's what one of the big problems that has been here is that people were not using common sense. You have to remember, banks want your money. First of all, this is how they make it. They have to have your money. They're not going to stop you at $10 million and say, well, we're only going to accept $10 million. No, these banks want to flourish, and, just like the structured payouts. I don't believe in structured payouts because, Nancy, my husband works for the IRS, and he's asked his bosses, how are they going to treat this whole currency thing? And the best way it was ever put is, it is just like if you went to a Travelex and you had to turn in some of your foreign currency that you actually didn't use on vacation, and bam. Only the difference is you're going to have either a temporary trust or you're going to have your trust put in place already, and you're going to have that done. They're going to structure it that way. It's going to be in a trust, because it's a lot of money. But for them to tell you you can only have so much of your money, I have to call BS on it. I have to, because none of that makes sense, not in the banking world. So,
listen, Debbie.
Yeah.
Debbie. I'm calling you Debbie. Becky.
Yes.
There isn't enough money in the world to pay us all out what we're going to get, okay? So
right, but it's digital.
There has to be some way that they're going to do this. And I am understanding that they will do a payout structure and pay you interest on the money, that you don't get yet. Whether it's a 5-year, a 10-year, a 15-year, a 20-year. But where are they going to come up with all this money? There isn't enough money in the world to pay all of us what we have. So I think, and I have heard that too, that the banks don't want to be bothered with controlling that. So maybe, I don't know what the rules are. It hasn't happened yet for any of us. I do know some people, though, that have exchanged.
Me too.
And,
yeah.
But then they sign NDAs and they can't tell you, what really.
I know some that
all
haven't.
The rules really are.
I know some that have not signed NDAs. And not to say that these were like legal, exchanges, because like I've told everybody, if your bankers are calling you in and letting you do these things, there's a lot of bankers being arrested for these illegal exchanges right now. But there was no structured payouts on them. But we also have to understand they got lower rates. They didn't get the full amount for their Zim, because I don't believe that we are even going to know what the Zim rate is until we get to the exchange center, because these rates are constantly fluctuating until this RV is set in motion. So for anybody to even call a rate out there, is unreal to me. So,
yes.
We've had many bankers tell us
all the rates that
moving.
they're seeing on the bank screens are, what do they call them?
Trading?
Rates?
Yeah.
No. It's
they're
not
on the trading platform.
They're not even trade. There's another word for them that they put in there, and it could have something to do with the trades. I forget what they called it. I want to say placeholder rates, but I don't know if that's what it's called. I can't remember. But that is all going to change when the RV happens. They're not real. That's why they change on a daily basis, because this hasn't gone through yet. And until this goes through, until we have an actual RV, there's something else that's bothering me too. I'm hearing that there's going to be regions. Now this is what bothers me.
Are you talking about the districts?
The Federal Reserve is the cabal.
Yes.
Period.
And that's something that was put in our room.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
It's a cabal. I'm going to be very.
Yeah, the cabal is not
careful.
in control of the new system.
They don't have anything to do with the RV.
But I got to tell you, Nancy. Nancy, that came from Tony and Ray Wren. It did. I found out, after researching that also came from them. And, I'm not going to sit here and just call these people liars, but, what do we know? We know that these three-letter agencies are cabal. We know that, like IRS, CIA, FBI, we know that they're cabal. And they're not going to put these people in control of the new system, because what good would it be? So, this is what I'm talking about, is that people don't use the common sense to figure this out right now. People are believing those things, and then they're all confused, and then they're coming on these conferences saying, could you tell me about the Zim again? Nancy, come on, how many times did people ask you about Zim on your conference call? Did you get tired? I do.
So I've come to the conclusion that some people just don't listen.
No.
Debbie put out a tweet today. Here's a perfect example.
Yes.
Debbie put out a tweet today that said, if you're missing DB, go and listen to this guy's video. Now, I know some of you don't understand when there isn't a link on her tweet. How do you get to that? You go into Twitter, and up in the right-hand corner, you'll say search Twitter, and you put in facts and opinion 1. Hit enter, and then everything that she's tweeted out is in there. Just scroll down and you'll find, I think it's the second or third one, is this guy Ken. He's talking. And all she was saying is, if you're missing DB, you'll like to hear what this guy has to say. He's a lot like DB. That's what she meant by that. I cannot tell you how many emails and calls I have gotten today wanting to know when is DB's call and what's the number.
DB's a vapor, guys. Yeah, DB vaporized, guys. He doesn't want to come back out into the public, and we have to respect that. DB taught us, you know, he gave us the rules. He gave us the tools to get out there, research, do our own due diligence. And you know, I believe he's sitting back and he's watching what's going on, but he does not want to be involved anymore. He has got to just become a vapor, and we have to respect that, which means we don't need to be bothering Nancy, you know, calling her saying, when is DB doing a call, or what does this mean?
Well, they totally and completely misconstrued what was said. You know, she just said, if you're missing DB, go to this call and hear what this guy has to say. His name is Ken something. And so it doesn't have a link, so you have to go into Twitter to find it. And like I said, you just go twitter.com, and up on top there'll be search Twitter, and you'll just put in facts and opinion 1 and hit enter, and her tweets will come up. And just scroll down, and you can get it that way.
And guys, so go check out Facts and Opinion. That. Yeah, I mean, I want people getting these tweets because she sends out some really good, valuable information. And, you know, I mean, I get them. And, you know, I've always, you know, cross-referenced a lot of this stuff. And guys, it does help you research. This is just part of the ride. You know, if you guys have this investment, and it's a lot of money. I mean, a lot of you don't realize that just a 500 million note of Zim is a lot of money, and it's going to take a lot to manage that kind of money. So what you need to be doing is researching this stuff and trying to put a team together to help you manage this money, because it's more money than you could ever even think about. And when you collect so many of these, because I remember, Nancy, in the beginning, you know, we were always saying, we're Zim queens. And we went out there and we collected so much of the 500 million notes when we thought that zeros were going to be taken off. And then, you know, all of a sudden, recently, you know, you got TNT saying they're not going to take those 500 million notes, you know. And
here's another thing I want to say. I want to get this out, Becky, because it's misconstrued by everybody. Ray Rand and Tony are saying there's 6 zeros before the rate, and that they're going to add those 6 zeros, and then you divide that. I'm here to tell you, if there's 6 zeros before 147, it's going to become $1.47, okay? And you take whatever you have. If it's the 100 trillion note, you're going to times it by $1.47, and that will tell you what your rate is per note. Now, where they're coming up with these calculations, I'm not privy to that at all. I know that is not the way we figured out our money for my private deal. It is not. We were given a rate, and that's it. And it's 20 cents times, you know, if it's a 100 trillion note or if it's a 50 trillion note. And no zeros are coming off. Okay?
Right.
And we were told that we'll get X amount, like 5%, we would receive up front. Now, we were told this 2 months ago. This deal still has not gone through. So they can tell you anything they want, but until it actually happens, and it hasn't happened yet. But those were the rules. And it's quite a bit of money. And for them to say that it's not, I mean, $1.47 times, I can't do it on my calculator because my calculator doesn't put in those extra zeros. Whatever, that's how you figure it out. You take $1.47 times 100 trillion, and what you come up with, that is your rate per note. And then you times it by how many you have, and that's the money you should get. Whether it be 20 cents, 50 cents, 60 cents, whatever it is, that's how you will do it. Not the way they're saying. I've never seen a calculation like that before in my life. He kept saying 6 zeros were going to be taken off. 6 zeros were going to be taken off. I believe the 6 zeros that are being taken off are off the rate, not off of the bond. These are bonds. They can't remove zeros. They can't do that.
Right, and we did a call talking about these bonds. And, the 500 million note, guys, is a bond as well. It's on bond paper. And I think another thing that people were really confused about is, they also put out there that if you don't belong to a group, you're not going to be able to exchange. And it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work that way. If you hold currency, you bought that currency, you are eligible to redeem that. And, I mean, this is it, Nancy. I mean, Dizzy said in the end we're going to be dealing with a lot of chaos. Well, this is chaos, but we've got to stay focused because it's taken everybody so off track that I think if you looked in my Skype room, you could see how everybody started losing their heads. We don't want everybody to lose their heads.
Well,
we want
everybody
focus.
to understand what you're hearing from Ray and Tony, you're not hearing anywhere else. It's only coming from them.
Right.
You don't hear Bruce say that. You don't hear how many others there are out there saying that. They're not saying that.
No.
I did hear that there is a possibility of regions. I did hear that. But what bothers me is when they threw in the Federal Reserve. That bothered me because I know what the Federal Reserve is. And so I'll be very careful before I do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. They could say, this is the bank you have to go to. The Federal Reserve said, this is the bank you have to go to. And then the Federal Reserve just sucks that money right out of there. What would be to stop them? I know that they don't want this RV to happen until they have it under control, that they can't do something like that. So,
right. I still think there's going to be...
I don't have all the answers. I don't. I'm just telling you what I have heard, and I've never heard anything like what they're saying. But everybody has the right to believe whatever they want to believe, So.
Well, I'm just trying to, I've tried to just stay focused. I've tried to make DB proud by just keeping everybody focused and, showing everybody there is a lot of smoke and mirrors out there. And these are things that DB told us early on to not, pay attention to, kind of like the nuclear war thing, all this corruption that's going down and it kind of looks like it's pointing at the wrong person. These are things we're really not supposed to be paying attention to because we know what the outcome is going to be. And so it shouldn't be a shocker to us what we're going to hear. And, it's so hard. It's hard keeping everybody on track when there's conferences like that out there. And then, everybody wants me or whoever's on my call to address what they are saying, when in all reality, it sounds so foreign to me what they're saying. And it's not how I've been taught, and it's not what I've researched. So, I mean,
we're
I've got
going to find out when we go to, I tell everybody what I think could possibly happen, but I don't know for sure. And before I hang up, I tell them, look, we'll find out what happens when we go to the bank. We haven't been given any information as to what the rules and regulations are going to be. And that could be because they don't want us to know until the time comes. So everybody just try to keep a level head. Go with your gut feeling. Go with what you think is right. And that's really all I have to say about that. Other than,
absolutely.
Hey, money is coming to me. Can you see it? Can you feel it? I hope you all believe it because I believe it. I refuse to not believe it. So,
right.
Okay.
Well, I'm feeling we're real close, and a lot of our people that come and talk to us are bankers. We got some investors. We got some boots on the ground. They're telling us we're there. UST is telling us they're ready. So we really are just waiting for the go.
I was told that we will not get through this month without this being done. But I have heard that before. I heard that in March, in April, in May, in June, in July. I've heard it a lot, okay? But I've never felt before that we're this close as we are now. So.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard a back wall of March 31st because of the end of the quarter. I've been told by a lot of people that they want this done before the end of the quarter. So, that's what my back wall is right now and in my research. So, if it doesn't happen this week,
and I have one more thing to say, okay? I want everybody to understand this because they're getting it all mixed up. I was told today, China is going to go back their money on March 26th.
Is it the 23rd or 26th?
The 23rd, she told me. I don't know if it's the 23rd or the 26th. I do know this, that China is going to pay for their oil with gold-backed yuan on March 23rd. Is all of their currency going to be gold-backed? I don't know. But they're thinking, when they heard that, they're thinking all the currency is going to be gold-backed, and it might be. But I remember correctly, they said that they would purchase oil from Russia and pay with gold-backed yuan on the 23rd of March.
Yep.
So that doesn't mean that all the currency will be gold-backed. That doesn't mean that we have to wait until March 23rd for our currency to be gold-backed. Right. That's the point I'm trying to make. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, our country can do it at any time, and I think that there is a silent deadline that these people know. But in that time frame, I think everybody else has to be, asset/gold-backed. But anybody can do it at any time. So that's the big thing, guys, is everything's up in the air, and we're just kind of in limbo waiting,
I was told that the Chinese wanted this done by their Chinese New Year. Well, Chinese New Year's here.
Yep.
Now, how long does it last? I don't know. Is it a week? I have no idea.
Well, we've heard that before, too. The Chinese New Year thing we've heard before.
We heard that last year. It was going to be done last year before the Chinese New Year.
Right.
And here we are.
Well, let's get to some questions because we got a lot of people in the queue, and I know that a lot of people are so happy to hear from you. So, guys, if you guys are in the queue to ask other questions, pull yourself out of the queue. We're going to talk with Nancy for a little bit until she gets tired of us. And they started dropping. Okay, and so here we go. 216, come on in.
Hi, this is Breezy from Cleveland.
Hi.
Question. Will we have the choice of banks when we call the 800 number?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Wasn't real sure if we had, I know the 5 big banks, but there may be some other banks that they would let us know when we call the number.
They'll ask you who you bank with, but I think they want to, I don't know, what is your take on that, Nancy? I think that Wells Fargo and HSBC, Citibank, blah, 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 are 5 major banks. I think they want us to put it with one of those major banks before we move it.
I have my trust, and I'm going to have my foundation with Wells Fargo.
There you go.
My Citibank, not my Citibank, but my state bank here where I live, I have a trust account there too. But I'm going to exchange to Wells Fargo. I'm going to do all that through Wells Fargo, and then I'll move money to where I want it to go. But I'm going to go with Wells Fargo.
Yep. Now,
and if there isn't a Wells Fargo in your area, they will give you a bank that Wells Fargo is using for that area.
Right.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, do you know anything about us being tracked after we leave the exchange?
No. No. You know what? That is a big fear thing again. They don't care what happens to you when you leave that bank. What they care about is your money is in that bank. This is all about common sense. Yep.
Okay, and we won't have to travel far to do the exchange, right?
No.
Even if we
No. No, you're still looking between 30 and 50 miles to travel is what we're still being told. And I've had bankers even say that to me, that they're not going to make you travel far to actually do your exchange. No. Okay?
Okay. Will the exchange operator ask us how much currency we have before they assign us?
Well, you're gonna make your appointment with the 800 number. You're gonna go into your exchange center, and they're gonna see how much you have.
Debbie, I was told that they will ask you, or that you should tell them that you have Zimbabwe, and then they may ask you how much do you have. Because if you have one note, they're going to send you to the bank possibly. If you have a lot, they're going to send you to an exchange center.
Okay. So we need to say we have a lot, or say how much we have of the Zim.
That I don't know. I told you I don't have the rules yet. I mean, it isn't. I haven't been told what exactly what is going to happen. I just want everybody to relax. Well, this is going to go smoothly, and they'll tell you what you need to know, or you can ask. When you call to make your appointment, you can ask those questions, and I'm sure they'll know the answers. Becky and I do not know the answers. Okay?
No, we're just telling you what we've been told. And, all I've been told is that when you call that 800 number, you need to tell them that you have Zim bonds. Some people call them bondables. And you need to let them know that, because they should actually point you to an exchange center for those Zim bonds, okay, because it is a very high amount. It's going to be treated differently because it is a bond. And that's really all we know at this point.
And they should not call it currency. Do not call it currency, because it isn't currency.
That's right.
Bond.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
One last thing, real quick. Is there a list that Homeland Security has generated for people to not be able to exchange or deny?
I'm sure there is. Yes, I actually have been told that there are some people that are doing some illegal swaps, things like that. They are put on a list, you betcha.
Okay, I know some people had gotten other people's currency and that kind of thing, so I just want to know if they were on the list. Now, is there a denial list for banks, for people who go in and misbehave during exchange, that they would put them on a list that's generated through other banks so that they can't exchange?
That we don't know. We don't know. I mean, that's getting pretty deep in there. We're not sure about that yet.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right, Annie. Uh-huh. 919, come on in.
Becky, good to hear you. Sound really well.
Hey, you too. Thanks.
And Nancy, this is a name from the past. Late at night, Jerry used to cue up your song, and I want to hear you sing it one more time. This is Whalers.
Bye-bye.
Come on. I want to hear you sing it.
I said it twice. Bye-bye.
Money is coming to me. I want to hear you sing it.
Oh, I just sang it.
I know. I want to hear it again.
Money is coming to me. Can you see it? Can you feel it? Do you believe it? Hey,
Here we go.
Hey.
Here we go.
Yeah, now if anybody wants to hear that again, listen to the replays. Poor Nancy.
We will.
I thought he was talking about bye-bye, because I still get people that go, oh, quick.
I know, just say it, Nancy. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye again.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, I'll let someone else speak. Thank you.
Okay. Some of those people kind of creep me out when they do that. Okay. Some of those people kind of creep me out when they do that. 314, come on in.
Good evening, Becky, and good evening to Nancy. Nancy is Lady T. I don't know if you remember me or not, but
of course I do. Come open mic. Yeah.
Yes. It's been such a long time.
There's some names that you just don't ever forget,
Yeah. It's wonderful to hear you, and it's wonderful to hear you singing our favorite song. I just got the biggest grin when you sang that. That was wonderful. That was wonderful. I do want to say I really appreciate you coming in with Becky today and sharing the information, because I felt when that information came out yesterday, one of my sisters had called me I think it was night before last, when they came out with, first of all, this regional information and so forth and everything, and then this information that came out on TNT yesterday, and I was like, something just didn't seem right. And then all day long, long story short, it just felt uncomfortable, you know. And, of course, you know, and I'm going to say this, I've got a bunch of people, and then I'm going to ask my question, but I've got a bunch of people that I'm answering to. Now, personally, I'm in a group, so I don't have to depend on this information, but the Zim information was kind of disturbing because, you know, you got people that purchase a lot of Zim. And so now we know.
They're telling them you can only exchange up to $10 million. I don't know.
One note. Yeah, they're telling them one note, and then you might be able to come back later and bring in the rest. And a lot of crazy information came forth on yesterday. So we are so happy to hear.
I want you to understand something, and I'm glad you just said it that way about this, you know, exchanging a note or $10 million worth or whatever. I want you to understand something. Zimbabwe wants these bonds off the street. And what I have been told, and this is like coming from bankers, and these are like Dubai bankers, London bankers. I got them in New York, East Coast, West Coast. I want you to understand, they said these Zim notes, bonds, need to get off the street, and they're going to put a time limit that we can actually redeem these. So for us to come back and redeem more Zim, I'm going to say what Tony would say. Who does that make sense to? That was the biggest flop up I've ever seen.
Listen, Beck, this is what makes sense. Tell all the people they can only do one note and tell them to hold on to it and wait for a while. And then when they come back to do it again, they'll be told, oh, I'm sorry.
That's right.
You know,
that's what this message was yesterday. Yeah. And that's right. That was crazy. So
I could just see him doing that. I could just see him doing that. Yeah.
So hold on to all of your notes.
Very careful is all I can say. I would not hold on to any notes. When I go in, I'm getting rid of it all. No matter what.
Hold on to them.
I'm getting rid of it all.
Take them all in. That's right.
Okay.
Don't get rid of them.
That's exactly one of my questions. I did have one other. And so, also, you know, we were hearing, and I think I heard you comment on the fact that he had been alluding over the last couple of weeks about these zeros in front of the rate. I want to make sure I've got some clarity about that, because when I did a Google trying to calculate the rate, because I knew my calculator wouldn't do it for me, and when I would put the zeros in front of the rate, I'll use 14 cents as an example, or the 4.7 with the zeros in front. Okay, and so now in my mind, according to the Google, what the Google does, it calculates it, even though they're saying they're not removing any zeros. That on the Google, technically, it does remove zeros mathematically from it. So when it does the math, it comes out as
$1.47.
Well, no, it's not $1.47. Well, now when you do it through Google, and this is why I'm asking the question.
Wait, okay, this is what I want you to understand. We don't know what the rate's going to be, and it's going to show. You know, it may show 6 zeros, and then it may show 0.50. It's going to be 50 cents. Those zeros are not. I don't know how they're coming up with the calculation. They're saying you divide. You don't divide. You time.
Well, you know what they're not looking at? They're not looking at international law, Nancy. They're not looking at what they can actually legally do on these bonds. That was the screwy thing, because I researched that from day one. You can't remove zeros. This currency has already been paid for, or these bonds have already been paid for. They've already been backed by assets And they're
only
already
that, what
there.
people don't understand is that these bonds, they've been trading them for years.
Yes.
Years. They've made a lot of money. I mean, China's made a lot of money on the Zimbabwe. By the way,
may I just ask one question?
Sure.
So, in maybe my formula is wrong. I was multiplying. Am I multiplying or dividing to get my calculation?
You are multiplying.
I am multiplying. Okay.
Okay. So I have 500 million notes, okay? So I put in my calculator 500 million. I times it by 50 cents. We're going to say 50 cents, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That comes to 250 million a note. 250 million a note, and then I times it by how many I have. Oh, I have 150.
Okay.
That comes to, well, my calculator, it's billions, okay? My calculator, it goes 3.75, and then it's missing two spaces, and then says 10. So that's how you figure it out. You're going to times it by whatever you have. That will tell you what one note is worth, and then you take that amount and you times it by how many you have.
Okay, and that's
what that.
So I use, like as an example, I use 1 T note, 100 T note.
Yes.
Times they were
and
showing
if it's if it's $1 for 100 trillion.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
That would be 100 million, right? Or it's a trillion.
100 trillion.
I can't
dollar
do it
for
on
dollar.
It's 100 trillion.
Yeah, it's still 100 trillion. Yep.
Yes, and then you would times it by how many of those notes you have.
Right.
That's why I'm saying the money is incredibly. I mean, if it's $1, it might only be 15 cents. It may only be 7 cents. Even at 15 cents, I figured it out. At 15 cents, it was huge dollars, huge money.
Yeah.
Well, we have to remember too. This is digital.
Because 14 cents is 14 million.
Right. You're right.
14 million times 500 of them that you have comes out to a lot of money. Billions, trillions.
Yeah.
So, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I know you got a lot of callers waiting. I'm going to drop back. I'm so glad to hear from you guys. And, Becky, we missed you these last couple of weeks.
Ooh, I was sick, let me tell you what.
Oh, I'm so
but
sorry.
I'm feeling better.
Well, please.
Yeah, well, I'm feeling better, so I think I beat it. I think I'm on the recovery now, but
well, God bless you.
But we're there, and thank you for coming in, and we're going to get to the next caller, sweetheart. We got to get moving. We got a big lineup here. All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Nancy, I'm going to call the next person in. Can you take it for just a minute and let me mute out for just a minute?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Caller, come on in.
Hey, come on in. What is your name? Hello?
We hear you.
Hello. Oh, okay. What is your name? I don't hear her. I can't hear anything back.
We must have lost her. Okay.
Yeah.
817, come on in.
Yes, it's Steve in Texas.
Hi,
Steve.
come on in.
Come on in.
First of all, Nancy, thanks for coming on. Becky, I'm glad you're feeling better. One thing you said, Nancy, about this whole Zim thing with TNT is that, how they positioned it is that, you're going through the calculations on 100 T note, and, if it's 50 cents, it would be, it would be $50 trillion. And then if I don't know how many Zim holders there are, but I think the whole issue is that the banks are saying that they can't have that much money on the street, and that's why they would limit it to 10 million. So I guess my ultimate question is,
it's going to be digital. It's not going to be on the street. Okay, it'll be digital. Yeah, and I still believe there will be some type of a payout structure because there isn't enough money in the world to pay us all that we have coming. Okay.
Right.
So I can see them, putting us on some type of a payout structure over X amount of years and investing that money and making money so that they can afford to pay us. They're going to pay us interest on it. That alone is going to be great. Just the interest that you would get off the money. People don't realize the kind of money that they're going to be able to make on their money. It's going to be a lot. So.
Well, that's what I think too. So thanks for coming on and clearing that up because obviously there's a lot of concerned people. I got a bunch of Zim myself.
I just got a text. Can you tell me, do you really think that there's a cap, a 10 million Zim cap at exchange? No, I don't believe that. I'm sorry. I just don't. How can the bank tell you, well, you can only have, we want to take all of your Zimbabwe, but you can only have 10 million? I don't think so.
Well, I think what Becky said, there's international laws to bonds too. So, they, to me, that whole setup, what they said about the 10 million would be probably against international law based on the bonds. Because ultimately what they said is you do one note for 10 million and then they don't know when they're going to be able to have you do the rest of your notes. And of course, everybody's thinking, I got a lot of notes here. So,
listen, most people think that the country of Zimbabwe is paying this. They are not. What goes on in the country of Zimbabwe is in the country of Zimbabwe. It does not affect us here. I believe the Chinese are behind the whole thing. Oh.
Right. So anyway.
Come back, man.
Okay.
Becky, I was going to ask you a quick question. What is your contacts with POTUS saying? We've always talked about some massive arrests and all this stuff. What's what's your thinking on that right now as far as this thing going down?
Well, I mean, we haven't heard from our POTUS guy in about a little over 30 days, and he's a officer with the Marines. He helps guard POTUS, and so obviously POTUS is moving around a lot because he hasn't even taken time out to actually give us an update at this point. But that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you guys about because a lot of this right now that is in the works, they're talking about the Uranium One deal. I don't know if you guys see a lot of the news that's out there, but they're talking about the Bundy Ranch thing coming back up. That has to do with the Uranium One.
Right.
I've talked to you guys about Obama and Hillary. They want to make sure that they have them busted. I don't know if you guys read that article about the 13 people from Russia, nationalist or however. Right. Yeah. I want you guys to understand what that was about. That is about Uranium One. Even though they're telling you it's about the elections, they're trying to pinpoint this back on Hillary. They want enough on Hillary and Obama to take them, okay, because once they open up that Uranium One deal, a lot is going to come out. But they have to do it in a certain protocol. And so there's more to it than what you're reading.
Not only that, Becky, they have found missiles here in the United States that are hidden. They want to make sure they get all the little guys before they get the big guys, so that when they get the big guys can't say to the little guys, set off those missiles. Understand that? A lot of people don't. But
a lot of people don't because
they're going to. They don't.
It's a bigger ordeal. What you're reading in the news, it's a motive for something else, and that's why Dizzy always taught us that when something comes out in this direction, don't just look at that direction. Look in the other direction. What are they not trying to show you? There's more to all of this, and a lot of this is so tied together. And, it's like Dizzy always said, when this all comes out, it's not going to be like any of you guys thought. It's going to make your heads just spin. And he's right. It's starting to happen, So just remember, keep your eyes focused on that uranium one.
Don't believe it. I was talking to somebody last night. He is in La La Land. He says, he goes, I heard that the CIA may have been involved in that school shooting. Can you imagine that? I said they probably were. Get out.
Yeah.
I don't know. You need to get with it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Well, Becky,
yeah. I mean,
many Americans don't even know how crooked the CIA, they're starting to find out about the FBI, the Department of Justice. I mean, it goes everywhere. It's the CIA, it's the Pentagon, it's our Congress, it's our House, it's the senators. It is. Someone asked someone, what do you think the percentage is of corruption in the government? And he said 99%.
99.9999.
Yeah. And
what did you want to say, Doc? Go ahead.
I just wanted to say, I understand about the uranium one, and that makes sense about the 13 indictments, but how do you see the RV playing in that as far as us getting 800 numbers? Does something like that have to happen first, or what? Or when do you think the time?
With the contacts that we have, everybody's saying they're ready for this, okay? So I really feel that it is just about a timing thing. But I'm kind of watching, about the indictments and everything else happening. I'm watching all these, politicians resigning. I'm watching a lot of those things right now and kind of seeing how this is leveling out. But I truly believe they can release this at any time because I do feel that, they're ready for this. But I still always feel that they want to make sure that the security is there as well.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
They don't want to throw this kind of money in a corrupt system. But one of the things that we do have to keep in the back of our heads is this is not the same banking system we've all been dealing with. So when we're all talking about an obscene amount of money, we all have to also think about that we are going to be going digital. So it's going to work in a different way. It's not like people were just saying on the street. It's not going to be all that physical money on the street because eventually the physical money is going to be gone. It's going to go to a digital system. So, and it's going to take time to do that. So, I think we're looking really good. Yeah.
Now, you've confirmed in the past. I just want to make sure because, on Art's call last week on Wednesday, Ken Dunn got in there and said it's going to be the Fed coin as the gold-backed currency. And we still have the USN. I guess that's one I want to confirm that we still have the USN Republic currency, right?
Right. Yep. And the thing is, my beliefs with these cryptocurrencies and stuff, I've always, to me, those are kind of like a currency I feel that the cabal is actually trying to create and grip onto to kind of try and save their butts. I don't feel that we're going to be using those. I'm sorry. I don't. They all came out of the woodwork really fast when the cabal started getting in trouble. We always were told that they will be put into a corner and they won't be able to get out. Well, right now they know that they're in that corner and they're trying to hold on to their wealth as much as they can, but they're losing it. And slowly you can read, Rockefeller selling off stuff or getting out of some Bitcoin or, right.
Right.
But I mean, you'll read about that every so often on how they're losing money, and all I can do is sit back and say, yes, they are losing money because they're going bye-bye. They're not going to save their wealth anymore. It's over. Game over. We've won, and it's going to be played out, and we're going to watch it play out. But I like Nancy, I feel we are closer than we have ever been to this. I mean, this could literally just be released at any time, and it's going to happen quick, and I hope everybody's ready. So, anyway, we got to move on.
Is only 11 days away. So.
Yep.
Hold on.
Thank you very much, ladies. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. All right. Caller, come on in.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Becky. Hi, Nancy. This is Sandra. This is ET at 12. Just wanted to say thank you so much, and I'm glad you're feeling better, Becky. And Nancy,
Thanks.
my goodness, it's so good. It's like the duo force. I am so happy to hear your voice. And anyway, thank you for coming on today. I just wanted to ask one question about restrictions, like about exchanges. Like I've had to move and be in different locations since I've returned from Europe, and I just wondered if we're going by districts. Like now I'm in Michigan. I used to be in Arizona. So would I have to exchange here?
Where are you living now?
I'm in Michigan right now.
Okay, so that's the district you'd go to, where you're living.
So even though
they don't care where you used to live. They want to know where you live now and what district you're in.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
But I want you to know I would not stress on that either, because when these 800 numbers are released, you're going to talk to, that person on the phone. You're going to give them your zip code, and they're going to help you regardless to where you're at. So that's another thing that gets me here is that we're all stressing on these districts, and I don't think there's a need to. I think once we call that 800 number, they're going to line us up. I don't think that we're supposed to be dealing with that. I just don't. So does that make sense?
Well, it makes sense, but I have left. My blessings are in Arizona, so I would have to go back there and get them, and then come back to Michigan to exchange. Correct?
I'm not sure on that. I've been told in the past.
Arizona?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're saying your currency?
Yeah, I've been told you can do it anywhere.
Yes, because I came back from France, and then I just left it and hid it over there. So I just thought, if I have to go back there to get my currency.
Well,
yeah, I don't know.
still think if you go back there and you get your currency, do you have like family or something there?
No,
I would still think that you can.
If she's in Arizona getting her currency, I would call up out in Arizona. You're out there. I know somebody that's traveling right now that took all of his currency with him. Something happens, he's going to exchange there. Not at all.
Okay, but see, I came here, so I thought, well, I have to go back, and I didn't want to fly, and I flew here, so I wanted to leave my things, so I didn't want to fly with currency, so I will. Right. I just thought I'd better ask, but thank you so much, and bless your dear hearts, both of you. It's wonderful. It's so wonderful to hear you. I can't say enough. So merci and bisous and big hugs, and thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, Art just sent me an email, so I'm going to mention a website. It says, here is the link you can that can be passed on. It works on anything we have. It says, I've used it for months, so please pass it on. So it's www.calculatory.com/C. And I guess it's just a calculator so you can calculate things. But, I mean, if you guys want to prematurely calculate, go ahead. So, anyway, okay, let's get to some more. 925, come on in. 925.
There's a lot of noise.
Yep, let me just mute them out. Lynn, come on in. Caller, come on in. Unmute yourself.
Show me, Sarah.
I'm here, and you got to take me off speaker.
I don't hear anything.
Call. Yep.
Do you?
Nope. 773, come on in.
Hi, I was wondering if you could please repeat the website Art just gave you.
Yes, www.calculator.com/C.
Thank you very much.
Sure. All right. This is our last caller in the queue, guys, so if you want to ask Nancy some questions or come on in and say hello, *6, and then push number 1 to ask a question. 810, come on in.
Yeah, Nancy, it's good to hear your voice. How's Terry?
Hi. Good. Good.
Yeah?
Who's this?
Keep in touch with him?
Yeah.
And DB, he's doing okay?
I haven't talked to DB in a long time. He's busy with cryptocurrency. So.
Oh.
DB's fine.
Well, good. Glad to hear both of your voices and glad you're both starting to feel better.
Mm-hmm.
You can mute me out. Thank you.
All right. 919, come on in.
Hello, Nancy?
Yes. Hi. Who's this?
Hello?
Hi.
Nancy?
Who is this?
This is Blessed Flo.
I can hear you. I can hear you. What is your name?
Blessed Flo.
Oh, okay. Hi. How are you?
How you doing? Hey, Becky.
Good.
Hey.
That's good. Can you hear me?
We can hear you clearly.
I wanted to ask about the redemption centers. Is a bank a better choice than a redemption center? I mean, how does that work?
Well, you're going to have a redemption center. It depends if you have Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is, something different that they want to deal with differently. It's the bonds. So if you have, say, just like dinar or dong or whatever, there's a chance that you will go into a bank. But I think it really depends on how much you're holding. I don't think they want to see people pass out in their lobby. So I'm believing in the redemption centers more than anything, okay? So I think they want to keep that kind of, group of people away from the public eye. I don't think they want that out there. So I'm kind of leaning towards these redemptions.
Okay, let me ask you this. When you do the exchange, do you say Zimbabwe bond that you want to redeem, or how do you say this? Someone said that
you would tell them that you have some. Yeah, no, I've been told 2 different ways to say it. That you have some Zim bonds, or you can say that I have some bondables, and they will ask you what those bondables are, and you would say Zimbabwe bonds. So you don't want to, like Nancy said, you don't want to use the word currency because it is not a currency; it's a bond. Yep.
Oh, okay then. Well, Becky, you are doing a wonderful job, and there's a lot of truth seekers out there, and I was one of them. I wanted to seek the truth, and I found the truth. So
we're all tired,
Yeah,
we're all currency holders.
After what I heard the other day, I said, "Oh my God, we're in trouble here." But I came to this call. I've been to this call before, but now I'm just talking on it. But just keep up the good work. Now let me ask you: are you going to be continuing to giving your calls?
Yes. Yeah, I was just very sick, and I thought, and I didn't get to talk to people about this, but I had a pretty bad infection in my neck, and I literally thought it was an artery. And it scared me. It was very painful. And, I ended up on just a crap load of antibiotics. And, I had a lot of great people, on my call that, reached out to me and started talking to me naturopathically, to get better. And I'm feeling so much better. I just felt like I was dying. Like I had no energy or anything. And it hit me hard.
I remember when
real
my
fast.
kids were little, they got in the gland in the neck like a lump. So I took them into the doctor right away, and I go, "What is that?" They just said, "That's infection all in one spot." And
yeah, well,
put
I've
them on
had that too,
antibiotics
Nan.
to get rid of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I had that too, but this wasn't like that. This was like when I first went in, they thought it was a muscle that I had like almost tore. And I said, well, there's no way I could have really done that. And come to find out, it was the whole gland, and it was my main gland that went down my neck, and the whole thing was swollen. It looked like I had two necks. It was,
yeah,
it was
my
so scary.
daughter gets that. She gets swollen glands, and her neck gets like twice the size. Yeah.
Oh, I was so
I've never
scared.
had that. I don't know what that's like. I've never had that.
Very painful. I think, honestly, I would have rather went through childbirth. I felt like I got shot in the neck. It was that bad. So if you use a lot of muscles lifting your head. Yeah, that's good.
I'm glad you're better. Well, let me ask you this. Do
Yeah.
y'all give out emails? No email. Do you give out emails? No?
Yeah.
Yes.
I have my email address out there. You need it?
Yes.
It's Becky at wavocal.net.
Wait. Okay, Becky
Yeah.
at
W-A. Yeah. Vocal.
.net. Vocal,
.net.
V-O-C-A-L.
Right.
.net. Nancy, can I have yours again? I think I missed. Is it okay?
Ntak, N-T-A-K, 1948 at Gmail.
Okay. N-T-A-K?
Yep. 1948. Some old at Gmail.
Okay. Well, Nancy, take care of yourself. It's nice hearing your voice.
Oh, thank you.
You too.
You take care, too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
So much. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I have such respectful people on here. I just love it. 805. Come on in.
Yes, hello. Becky, so glad to hear you're back. And Nancy, great to hear your voice. This is Calcat. And, really miss hearing the banter between you and Terry and, of course, DB.
Yeah.
That was always so much a part of the fun. Just a comment from you, I mean, I certainly have an opinion on this person who's come around called Kim Possible. And I'm just curious what I don't think that she has anything to do with her RV, but, since it's out there, I thought other people might have a question on it.
My comment to that is BS. That's
and
my
mine
comment.
is I've never listened to her, not once.
Yeah.
There you go.
I have no desire to. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry you put it that way, but, if you all notice, as we're getting towards the end of this, there's a lot of really mysterious people showing up, and there's people that are acting like they have a lot of control. And I'm sorry, it's not controlled by one person. It is not. So
no, I never believe it for a moment, but I know there are some people that are getting caught up in it and concerned about it. So you folks being a little closer to the button pushers might be good just to get that out there on that opinion. But anyway, great to
it's
hear
not that we want to badmouth. We just want to keep everybody focused and just use your best discernment when you're listening to a lot of this. Because if we just
everybody has everybody has their own opinion, and they can believe whatever they want to believe. Right. Becky and I just gave you our opinion, and that's what we believe. So this is how it goes.
Well, and that's what all of us, I think, who are on this call and familiar with Nancy, DB, and Terry, that is the underlying foundation of truth of what's going on, and so all of the rest of this stuff is it's amazing. It's part of the chaos DB talked about.
Well, and I think it's been hard, and I think Nancy can kind of agree with this, is that when you're out there and you're doing intel and you're running these calls, you get a lot of negative feedback, obviously, because these other calls, they're on this ego trip, and I have some people that have actually been on my calls that owe me an apology, and they know that they owe me an apology because they've sent me some really nasty emails, and but I pray for them, and I just move on and I focus. But I want you to understand that, you know, for us to, I guess, listen to several different conferences or read several different websites and stuff, all you're going to get with that is confusion. So, you know, as long as we can all just stay focused, and I'm not saying come to my call only. I don't care about that. You know, I don't care who's on here. You know, as long as everybody's respectful on here, everybody's welcome. But, you know, I want you guys to use your best discernment. I want you to do your own research. And, you know, I didn't come into this knowing everything. Believe it or not, Nancy is the one that, you know, put me in DB's room. And I learned a lot from him. But I also, you know, I took grasp to some of these tools, you know, of getting out there and actually researching things. I mean, Zimbabwe, I've got Zimbabwe just, you know, on my brain because I've researched them. I just want you guys to research these things and not expect to get spoon-fed. I want you to understand where your currency is coming from, and I want you to understand what this is all about, because it's not just about the money. Our world is changing. You know, humanity is going to change, and we're part of that, you know, that change, and we got to focus, you know. So, you know, I just want you guys to understand that, you know, this has been a huge spiritual war with me. Holding these calls, you know, I had somebody, like, literally email me, giving me the directions on how to electrocute myself. I mean, are you kidding? You know,
can't believe
there's
it.
some crazy people out there. Yeah, and, you know, and you have to kind of ignore it and just focus. So, and that's all I want to tell you guys is focus on the truth. Focus on what you know and use your common sense, because, you know, right here is a good exercise, because if this blessing came tonight, you would have to ask yourself, are you really ready to handle this kind of money? Really? Because just a 500 million note is big money. And think about if you have a handful of just those. You know, I hope you all are ready for this, you know. So this is crazy. So,
well,
thank
you very much. Thank you
You
very
are
much,
so
Becky.
welcome.
Just one last comment, just a suggestion that people might want to look into learning how to use an Excel spreadsheet, because it makes it so easy to do the calculations on your currencies and be able to keep track and put in different numbers here or there. I mean, I don't know. I've got 2 trusts and a foundation, so I've got my currency spread all over the place. But when you put it on that Excel spreadsheet, you're in control of it, and you're going to need you're going to need to know that technology when you know, after you go to the bank. You just, it's essential. All right.
Exactly.
Well, thank you again.
I use those. Thank you. Are you doing okay, Nancy?
I am, yeah.
All right.
Yes, it's been fun. I miss all the people.
832, come on in.
Hi, Becky. This is Doug. How you doing?
Hi. How are you?
Pretty good. Yeah, I got a lot going through my head right now. I just, you know, I heard you mention about your neck being swollen, and I just couldn't help thinking back when I was a kid how I had a bee sting, and I was allergic to bees, and literally my face swelled up like a basketball, and it was pretty scary. I mean, it's like looking in the mirror and thinking you're in The Exorcist, something like that. So I don't know how you feel on that. I freaked out my mom. My dad laughed, but I scared my mom. She almost fainted.
Yeah, well, it is scary.
Yeah.
I got your text about this. What is it, Brewster's
Millions.
What is
yeah,
that?
You were just mentioning about 500 million and trying to get perspective. How much money is that? And have you ever seen the film yourself with Richard Pryor?
I have not.
Okay. The interesting thing about that film is that it's been remade 12 times. It's based on a novel. And you can go look up at Wikipedia, and Brewster's Millions was written as a novel. And I think the first iteration was like in 1912, maybe 1906, 1907. And this is before World War I. And in fact, it went on Broadway, and then from there it became a film. And some say the best film is the 45 version, because it's about a war veteran who basically came back from the war and he found out he inherited all these millions. And but most people are probably familiar with Richard Pryor film that came out in '85. And some people say it's not the best one, but it's still pretty good. It's a comedy, but it definitely gives you perspective on how much money, $30 million is, and how much. In his case, he started off with $30 million, and then he ended up getting $300 million. And the film just goes through explaining how much money that is. They show you him going in the bank vault and looking at it, and if you can imagine looking at 3 pallets of $10 million each. I'm sure there's at least one other person listening that's seen this film. And if you haven't, I recommend it. It's just good entertainment, but it's also good perspective. Richard Pryor is dead, and John Candy is in it as well. He's dead as well. There's some other people, other known actors you would probably recognize. Rick Moranis, for instance, he's in it. It's quite an all-star cast, let's put it that way. But it's just it's kind of hard to find too. I'm actually trying to look for it myself, and having trouble finding it. You can go on YouTube. I think you can find it for $3 or something like that for a streaming service. It's just not on my current streaming service. But anyway, I just want to throw that out because it just really will give you perspective on just how much $30 million is. And in his case, he had to spend $30 million in 30 days and not have anything to show for it, not have any assets at the end. If he had one asset at the end of it, he lost everything. So you can imagine trying to act like a drunk, spender, for the purposes of getting the bigger prize. That's and that goes back to the whole novel. There's different iterations of how that works and all that, but it's pretty brilliant. So I just want to throw that out.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing that.
I got other thoughts too. I was thinking because I've been researching the cryptos myself, because that really gets into what is digital money. And I've been wanting to ask you this when we say it's digital. What do we mean by digital? Before I go into that, I want to throw one thing out that I'm pretty sure about. And someone mentioned Kim Possible, and I've been reading her book too, and I've been discounting it because I just know she's a fraud. I mean, she to me, she exposed herself too many times by saying, I got the codes, someone else does. Well, we know that's not possible because Michael Cottrell also claims to have the codes. And I'm not certain he has them either, because I don't trust Michael Cottrell and Hodges, his lawyer, because Lee Wanta used to work with that guy. And for those who are listening to me, I'm the same guy that talked about Lee Wanta a few weeks back. Michael Cottrell used to work with Ambassador Wanta. He was basically his COO or CFO. I can't remember when Wanta had his corporation. He was a CEO. And largely, Cottrell was fired by Wanta for misconduct. Let's put it that way. If you go get the Wanta biography and read about it, it's all there, every bit of it. Marilyn Barnwell, who has a extensive banking background, is a biographer. She talks about Cottrell and Christopher's story and what was going on there. And better just go get the bio. And I gave you all those links from last time. And in those links, there's a free copy of the original bio in there if people don't want to purchase it. But I do recommend go get the Kindle version. I think it's only like $10 right now. And to read it, and it's just chock full of documentation and so forth, like I said before. So I just want to put it on this Kim Possible thing, and I'm just saying, why do they give themselves these goofy names, Kim Possible? What does that mean?
Well, here's the deal, Doug. It's like we've talked about this before on the call, and I've already challenged her like publicly, and she's got the codes, put them in. But you know what? She don't have the codes, so it's not going to happen that way. So, there's a lot of big talkers. We've heard this stuff about TNT and stuff, and, I hope that TNT understands that everything they're saying people are listening to, and when those dates pass or those rates pass, it's only going to be like them. It's only going to be them that looks like the idiots. So,
Right.
I mean, you know, they're going to have to really look at themselves at some point, and they're going to have to explain to themselves why they construed everything and misled everybody. And, you know, I hope they have a conscience enough to set the record straight for real, and, you know, start playing nice and stop confusing everybody, because in the end of all of this, we are all currency holders. We all have, you know, some of the same goals. You know, some of us are in this for the greed. Some of us are in this for humanity. And I believe that this can be removed at any time from us. I believe that if we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing with this, I believe it's possible to lose our fortune overnight. So, you know, it's how you look at things. So, you know, I mean, we've heard lots of things about Lewanta. We've heard lots of things about Cottrell, Hodges. The point is, I don't think any of that is important at this point. What I believe is important is that we stay focused, that we wait for this release, and that we just really stop listening to all this gibberish that's out there, you know, because we're not any people to really judge, per se. And I'm not trying to judge Tony and Ray Rand or anything, because, you know, everybody gets their intel from, you know, God knows where, you know. But all I can say is my call. I'm trying to do the best I can, and you know, I dig all the time because I want the latest. You know, I want to know what exactly we're looking at, and you know, you'll never hear, you know, a lie coming out of my mouth about where we're at, because I'm a currency holder too, and I'm just like you guys. And I know, Doug, if you guys don't realize, this is, you know, our Marine that we raised donations for a while back, and he still needs our help. So if you guys can help, go ahead and donate to my email. He needs the help now. He still has a vehicle that needs brakes, and it's a bigger brake job than we think. And we need to, you know, he's homeless right now. So, you know, we need to pull together as a family and help these people out. You know, I know we're all going through some hard times, but it's time that we help this guy because he has served our country. And there's a lot more of him out there that have served our country, and we need to respect that. If it isn't for people like him, you know, we'd be in trouble. So step up and help him. So sorry about that, Doug, but I love you, and I just I'm really praying for you every day, and it's hurting my heart that you're going through all of this turmoil, and there's nothing I can do to help you, because I'm not in the same boat, but you know, for medical bills and stuff, it's tough. Yeah.
I appreciate it.
All right, sweetheart.
I also want to just say to Nancy and tell her that I enjoy her perspective. I really did like hearing her come in and give him just really a little bit different angle of perspective to all this, and that was needed. You know, especially on the Zim, she really did clarify things there. For myself, I have been studying the reset for a long time, but on the currency side, I'm pretty much of a newbie here on that side. I wish I'd gotten into it sooner, but I just did for whatever reason, and I just been kind of studying this from a different angle as well.
Sure.
Not with Wanta, but going back before that. If I may, I got a thought on the cryptocurrencies and the whole thing of digital.
Right.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. When you say it's all digital, and I'm just saying, well, you know, how does that work? You know, because I'm a hard money guy. I actually got into this thing back in the mid-'90s with the Mises Institute and understanding what is real money. And this goes back to Aristotle, and Aristotle pretty much defined what is money, you know, and it has to be durable. It has to have a store of value. It has to be exchangeable. You know, there's all kinds of criteria, which I don't think has changed to date. And that is why still today we're saying gold and metals and hard assets is how we, you know, determine what is real money and so forth. There's money and there's currency, and the two are not the same. Currency can be money, but money isn't necessarily currency either. That's what I'm saying. I suggest you do your own research, and the Mises Institute is a very good place to go. Understand what is real money, and what is true banking, and all these things. And there's also Adam Smith, the classical model. Mises is the Austrian model, which comes after Adam Smith and the classical model, but they're very, very close. They're very, very close. They both don't really agree in the whole central bank concept. But again, do your own homework there. That'd be too long to talk about. To these cryptocurrencies, everybody says it's digital. The best way to probably understand what we're getting into is probably through what we call cryptocurrencies. I don't like the word crypto because crypto tends to mean hidden, secret, like you're trying to hide something, and that's really where it all started from. Bitcoin started off as bit gold, if you look at the background of it. And the original thing was to back some sort of digital money by gold or other hard assets. And, of course, Bitcoin's big in the news and all that, but it's beyond Bitcoin. Bitcoin's become kind of corrupted, just like the derivatives have and over time and so forth. And the big thing is Ethereum right now, and Ethereum is the big cryptocurrency right now. But the interesting thing about Ethereum is that it has more to do with a computing model than it has to do with money and currency and all that. Again, I suggest you do your own homework here if you want to. The whole idea of Ethereum is to replace the current client-server computing model, which is what we have. The best way to describe a client-server is the Internet. Basically, the Internet is composed of a server or servers, and then there is the client. And the client is generally like a laptop, or it can be your smartphone, it can be a tablet, it will be a desktop, and generally it will be your internet browser will be the client. And basically that's what the client-server model is. It's the means of communicating, say, between an internet browser and whatever server where that is. And these servers can be anywhere, on the planet. A lot of times it's a room full of servers, something like that. And I know your husband's was a computer guy as well. He's probably told you this. The strange thing about Ethereum is that it theoretically claims to replace that client-server model. And I didn't study, and I'm just still saying, how does that work? How do you eliminate the client, eliminate the server, and then you have something else? I said the only way you can do that is you've got to have some extremely fast network that's traveling practically at light speed. And that's where we get into the opticals and the fiber optics. And I remember back in the mid-'90s, I was working at IBM and went to a lot of trade shows. And the big buzzword at the time was something we called OC768. And OC stands for optical carrier. And an optical carrier, OC1, would be what we call 28 T1 lines. Give an example what one T1 is 1.5 megabits per second, which at one time was very, very fast. So if you take a T1, an OC1 is the same as a T3. A T3 is 20.
Now listen.
I'm sorry?
Doug, listen, this is really deep right now.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Is there a way that you can explain this and we can put it into Dinar Chronicles, because I want people to understand this, because you're a very smart guy. I mean, I love talking to you because I learn a lot from you. And I don't know about you, but my brain is not comprehending this today. I love you.
I'm probably technical, and I can thank you for telling me that, and I'll just try to just say that we're talking about a digital network or digital money and all that we're talking about something revolutionary and a paradigm shift. Something that's never been done before, and I'm still not sure how it works myself. The only way I can describe what do you mean by digital money and digital network is Star Trek. If you've ever watched Star Trek, particularly one of the films where they were trying to save the whales, which is one of the most popular Star Trek movies. Well, they were talking about how there was no money in the 23rd century, I think it was, and how everything was more of a credit system, and which still will. And basically, where, like I say, everything is electronic digits. There is no real paper currency. There's no coins. There's not even debit cards in a sense.
Right. Right.
So, anyway,
we gotta move on, baby. No, we love you. It's just there's so many callers in the queue. I tried a new headset today, and it's wireless, so I only have so much juice. Does that make sense? So we'll touch on this more. We will touch on this more later.
No problem.
All right. Thank you.
No problem.
All right. Bye. 832, come on in.
Hello, Becky and Nancy. I'm glad Becky is almost well, and it's great to hear Nancy's voice. And I'm so thankful that this call is not talking about aliens, and even aliens connected to digital currency and cryptocurrency, which was what we learned Wednesday night until I hung up. It's kind of weird. What I'd like to know is, since we're going to scratch everything we heard yesterday, which I had very serious concerns about, I want to know that if you're going to the bank versus going to a banking or exchange center, what's going to determine, is it going to be the fact that you own Zim or the amount of Zim you own plus your other currency?
I think it's going to be more of the fact that you own the Zim bonds, because Zim bonds it's a different ball game. It's a bond, and it's a extremely large amount of money. So, people laugh at me when I say I don't think the banks want you passing out in their lobby. But when you think about the money that's going to come just from those Zim bonds, it's worth passing out about, So
right.
I don't.
But it doesn't matter how many you own, you would go somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Now, are they still thinking about doing this in a military or government building with a lot of protection, or some other source or place?
I was told the military cannot get involved in currency.
That's what I was thinking. How are you going to go to a military base?
Yeah, they would get involved in your security part of it, because they are part of security. But I don't believe it'll be on the base. I don't care what anybody says. I think again, that was another form of misleading. I think we have exchange centers, and I think that that's where we're going to be. So,
right,
absolutely.
So they'll just tell us according to where we live what the exchange center will be.
Absolutely.
Just something still connected with the bank, but not a bank, right? Probably.
Right. Yeah, you'll have bankers in there.
Right.
But you're not going to. I don't think you're going to be at a bank at all for Zim. I just really don't feel that. Yeah.
Now, Wells Fargo is still one of the main ones in HSBC. I know Nancy said she was using Wells Fargo.
America. Yeah. Yeah, you guys got to remember, with the new banking system, you're going to be able to trust Wells Fargo because the new banking system is secure. They're taking care of you. Eventually, Wells Fargo, I believe, will be a part of HSBC because HSBC owns a big portion of Wells Fargo. So if we see anything in the future, we're probably going to see a name change, and that's it. So on the bank. So
does China still own part of Wells Fargo?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Good to hear your voice.
Thank you. 435, come on in. 435.
Hi.
Oops, hold on.
Hi.
Sorry about that. Gotcha.
You're okay.
I can hear you.
I just wanted to put in my 2 cents and say you're awesome. And Nancy's awesome. And I'm so glad you're back and feeling well. And I just want to send out blessings to everybody. And we are going to be Zimtastic any moment. Just stay in the flow. Yep.
I like that.
Love you.
We got to remember that one, Nancy. Zimtastic.
Yeah. How are you? I'm Zimtastic.
I am Zimtastic. Not super fantastic. We are Zimtastic. Yeah. There's our word. All right. 229, come on in. Unmute yourself, please. 229.
coming. Hello. How's everybody?
Hi.
Hello.
Good. Who are we talking to?
To the Leatherneck. Nancy.
Hey. How are you?
Oh, fantastic. Miss Becky know how to. Yeah, she know how to bring the Leatherneck out when she called your name. Yes. I got a question. Well, hello to everybody and to Art, and can't call everybody's name. Busy Bear and what Busy Bear mean, and Mr. Terry. Miss all y'all. Glad to hear everyone. And to every voice, to every ear of giving input and hearing the positive and the negative. I appreciate everything. But on the bonds, as far as increments or denominations, does it matter the amount that is being carried, like from $5 billion? It doesn't? Okay.
No. You know, here's what I've learned through all of this, and that is, you know, because I haven't heard of any of the lower denominations, but I have heard the millions, billions, and trillions will be redeemable. Now, it could be the lower ones, but all I've heard anybody talk about is the millions, billions, and the trillions. Nancy, how do you feel about that?
I am told that all denominations will be exchanged. That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
And I've not heard. The only stipulation has been private exchanges. They only want the 50 trillion and the 100 trillion. And, of course, Ray and was telling everybody that the only currency that's going to be exchanged is the 50 trillion and the 100 trillion, and that is not true. So,
yep.
Don't listen to that.
Okay. I think probably because there's a large amount of people that purchased 500 millions. I'm one of them.
Yeah.
So I'm not letting them go. Sorry. But
okay.
All right.
What about the Iran Rial?
It'll be there.
Okay. Any rate on it? Estimated rate?
Oh, no, I don't get rate.
I think that will be very comparable to whatever the dinar is, because they're going to be in competition with one another.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Next door neighbors, that makes sense. Okay.
Yes.
That's all I have.
You don't think Iran's going to let? You don't think Iran is going to let Iraq get $3.80 for their currency and them not get $3.80 for theirs? You know that they'll match them. They're going to match them.
That'll be a race running neck to neck.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for all then. Tell Art and the rest of the gang I said hello. Appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks for the good work. All right. Bye-bye, Nancy.
Bye-bye. See you later, love.
Oh, that kills me. I miss that too. Bye-bye. 516, come on in.
Hey, Becky, how you feeling, darling?
Like $1 million. How you feeling?
I want to know.
Is this my Long Island guy?
It is.
It is. How are you?
It is. Listen, I just wanted to tell you, actually I wanted to say two things. The cryptocurrencies are bad news. I've got it from two reliable sources that they're cabal controlled. They were conceived by artificial intelligence, and they're going to be used to bring down the they're trying to bring bring down the the hell they call it, the
dollar.
No, they're trying to bring down the stock market. You know, the financial crash.
Trust me. The stock market is going to crash all by itself. They don't need any help from anybody else.
That's all fine and dandy, but my point here is I'm trying to make is that it's being used to fuel the dark web. It's blood money, right? The money is going towards pedophilia. I'm telling you the truth. It's going towards pedophilia. It's going towards drugs being run into this country by the cabal. And it's blood money, so you're going to get attached to it. You're feeding the flames to hurt people. So I would stay away from it for that reason. The other reason is that it's very unstable, and it's easily hackable, and you could lose your identity and a lot of money. It's tough to get out of once you get in. So, you know, it's just something to think about. You know, do your own research, but I've got it from 2 reliable sources, and I've been studying this for a while, and it's not a good thing. The other thing I wanted to say is if you map out 15 zeros and put commas in between each, you know, you have your 00, your cents, your decimal point, and then 15 zeros, that's 100 trillion. If you minus 6 zeros, that's 100 million. Ain't no way it's in a 10 million series. It's in 100 millions. So whoever's telling you that it's got their calculators are misfunctioning. I mean, the decimal points don't lie.
Yeah, that's like toothless crackheads. Uh-oh. Did I say that? Did I say that? Uh-oh. All right, we're going to clean it up. Thank you for coming in. Good to hear from you.
Great to hear from you.
All right.
Thanks for taking my call. Bless.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Uh-oh, Nancy, did I really say that? Oh, 919, come on in.
Yeah, for a call that wasn't going to bash anybody, it sure turned into it.
Yeah, I ain't good at it. I apologize.
And
you know what's frustrating me? I'm going to tell you why. It's frustrating me because
there's been enough bashing, and there doesn't need to be a reason why. Okay? When the lady comes...
231, come on in.
Well, I thought you were never going to pick my number, Becky. How are you?
How you doing, Big Fish?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm glad you're feeling better, too. I really am.
A little spunky. I like how people can come in and act like they know how to run my call.
I hear that. That could be a good thing or a bad thing, huh?
Well, you know what? I got to tell you something.
Okay.
When people are misleading people this bad to where they got to come in my call and start asking me about these things that are happening on somebody else's call, there's a problem. So I will bash those people because I'm tired of answering for them. Yeah. So, you know, my call is about focus. Let's get back to the game, right?
I understand. And you know what? This is going to continue back and forth like a seesaw teeter-totter until the day the whole thing ends. It's never going to stop until this train ride stops.
Right.
And we just got to think realistic and use our common sense. That's all that there is to it, common sense.
Right.
It gets you a long ways in this world, and people forget God gave it to them.
Right. What's the question, man?
You know, the lady came on earlier in the call and was asking about where to exchange, Michigan or Arizona. You know, they ask us, and here's one of those common sense things. They ask you to bring all of your identification and picture, a couple utility bills, blah blah blah, this and that. They got a reason for that. You know, we don't know all the reasons, but the main reason is to get your home location, where you live, where you've been for the past 6 months or for the past year, so they can.
Yeah, but you know what? I got to tell you,
for their general
I don't think they care
for your exchange, not to harm.
Yeah, but
Big
Fish, listen. I think that was another crock that we got fed. You know, when they want all this information from us, obviously when we go into the exchange, yes, we're going to take our identification. But I don't feel that they want to know all of this personal information about us before we exchange. I mean, come on.
No.
You know how many millions of people are going to exchange?
There's too much identity theft out there. They're not.
Yeah, but I believe this gal that has her currency in Arizona, I believe she could go to Arizona, and I bet she can call that 800 number and say, hey, I've got my currency, I'm in Arizona right now, I don't reside here, but I would like to exchange it, and I am in area code or zip code, blah, blah, blah. That's how simple I feel it is.
If you're correct.
Yep. So I think there's been a lot of wrenches thrown in this to confuse a lot of us. But I don't think this is this isn't like how you call it, rocket science. It's easy. You know what I'm saying? It's easy.
Man. People use it, or some people don't. They forget they have it.
Right. So, all right, we got to move on, man.
Say hi to
what do you
everybody, and special hi to you, Nancy. Hope you're well.
Thank you.
You had a good holiday, and I want to say hi to my friend Sharon out there. I missed you, my friend. And good day, everybody, and Godspeed in this, whatever you want to call it. Let's give it a new name. Come on, people, think of something.
Blessing.
Yeah, it's
have a good day.
Going to be that.
All right. Thanks, Big Fish.
Good evening. Bye-bye.
918, come on in.
How are you?
Great. How are you?
Good. I just wanted to ask Nancy for a favor.
If you're going to ask her to sing, I'm going to say listen to the playback.
Do you remember me, Nancy?
Yeah, but I don't
Is this
remember
Red?
your name.
Is this Red?
I talked to you at your old show.
Yeah.
Would you do me a favor, and if you could patch Terry into this call so that Big Fish could ask him a question, I would be in heaven.
I can't get a hold of Terry. Terry's out of town.
That was my favorite part of every one of your calls when Big Fish and Terry would get into it.
Yeah.
Repent.
Yeah, I know. They're just memories you're going to just have to remember, that's all.
I'm going to let you go. I won't waste any more of your time, but I just want to say hello.
Oh, bye, Red.
Hello.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
He's waiting for you, Nancy.
I know.
You're bad, Red.
He's got 6 wives. He can leave me alone. Yeah.
Yeah, we know about you, Red. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember him. Oh, 732, come on in.
Yeah, hi. Several people I know are homeless and they want to do the exchange. Will the banks allow them?
Absolutely. They're not going to turn their money away. They want their money.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'll tell them. Thank you, Becky.
You are welcome. Boy, there's been a lot of crap put out there. 479, come on in. Unmute yourself, 479. Okay. 814, come on in.
Hi, Becky. This is Carol. And,
hi, Carol.
You answered you're going to have a replay, so that was my question. But I sincerely am so happy that you sound healthy.
I'm a little spunky today. Probably a little more spunkier than I should be.
Well, spunky means healthy sometimes.
Yes.
So
yes.
You stay that way now. That's a God-given order. I heard that personally. Okay?
All right, honey.
Been praying for you.
You got a question?
You're to stay well now.
All right. Thank you.
Love you bunch.
I love you guys too. Okay, so we got an empty queue. Anybody wants to come in and say anything to Nancy? She's here. And otherwise, we're going to wrap up this call. Is there anything else we should? Oh, we got Mimi. See, everybody just filled the queue. As soon as you say that, Nancy, did you ever realize that on your call? As soon as you say that, they fill up your queue again. It's like I shouldn't have opened my mouth. Yeah.
Yeah, I should have been
615.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, this is Mary from Nashville. Glad you're feeling better, Becky. And I want to say hello to Nancy.
Hello.
And tell the rest of the gang hello, and I'll let you go so you can get back to the next caller.
Okay,
Thank you.
bye.
Thank you.
Uh-oh. Yeah, we're having. Oh, Mimi, come on in.
Hi, Nancy. It's good to hear your voice. You sound much better.
Yeah, I feel better.
I started laughing. Oh, and of course you, Becky. Hello, dear. You sound way better as well. You're feeling better? Good.
I'm feeling better.
I started laughing when that guy asked her to patch Terry in, because I used to laugh when he would tell Fish, you come in here and you ask questions, you throw ass up against the wall and see what sticks. I started laughing, so I knew what he meant when he said that. It's good to hear both your voice. God bless you both. Take care.
All right, honey. Yes, there is always an ornery one in the bunch. Lynn, come on in.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, that's amazing, because I'm doing it by the computer, and I haven't tried that before. I'm experimenting. I'm 73. I'm supposed to do wild things now.
Yeah, hey, you sound good.
Oh, thank you. I'm kind of confused, and this is the first time I've listened to you, and I was trying to seek out help. I don't know if I went to the right place, but I had called the Conquistador Hotel. I'm in Puerto Rico. I had called the Conquistador Hotel because blockchain was there. So I said, well, what's going on? Everybody telling me that the government is so pissed off at the regular banks that they'll try anything. So I'm like, well, let me find out somebody else's opinion. So I looked back for Blue Wolf, and then I found you because he said, oh, this woman is wonderful and blah, 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 blah. So I said, well, I don't see Blue Wolf anymore, so let me see if I can find you guys. So I was wondering.
Yeah, Blue has signed an NDA, so he can't really talk about this stuff anymore. But yeah, right now the banks are in trouble. They have their derivatives and stuff, and they're going to be in trouble until this RV is released. And when this is released, then the derivatives will be taken care of, and the banks can restart. It's kind of a restart for everyone. So, until then, we obviously would watch our banks, but I think that we're okay right now. I think that we're so close to this that I kind of feel that we're on the new system already, and I think our money is pretty much protected. I haven't shared this with a lot of people, but I went into the bank a few days ago, and my soon-to-be husband decides that he wants to get on my account, and that's not a good idea for me. And it was kind of funny because I was a little nervous. And something that the banker said to me is that they can't put him on that kind of account. And I said, what do you mean? And they said, well, we've got instructions from a wealth advisor that this is a secure account. So that told me a lot. It told me that they were protecting my account. So Wells Fargo, and it's Wells Fargo, if they're going to say that this is not going to happen, I'd like to know why they gave me a secure account with a wealth advisor. So, so that was kind of that was a nice little surprise. So, I know that we're pretty close to this because I don't think they would even waste their time with me if they, didn't feel that this was happening. So we're pretty close, okay?
Well, what I'm thinking is that what frightened me was the last time I was on the Chronicles. They were saying that be careful in Puerto Rico because as soon as you cash in, the banks are going to do a mail-in. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. What do you mean by that?
No.
So I'm like, well, I was like, oh, my goodness. And then that's why I called the blockchain guys because I wondered, should we get them to cash us in? Because they came down here to make a town, buy a town, set up mining, and have people come into their town by cryptocurrency. And I said, well, maybe they could cash us in, all the people of Puerto Rico. But I didn't know anything.
But I will tell you that, like Blue, there are people that are coming to the mainland to do their exchanges. So, you might want to think about that. I'm not going to talk bad about the bank because you're going to be on a new banking system. That one I just wouldn't have, I wouldn't fall for that one. Once these new banking systems are all set in motion, it's going to go for all of them. It's not, you can't just have one bank on the SIPS system and one on the SWIFT. It doesn't work that way. It's a banking system where it'll all be SIPS. So I would not worry.
International banks down here, And they're
You're not
not
understanding, though. Yeah, but you have to understand what the SIP system is. SIP system is international. That's why it's going to be. That's why it's going to be very easy to wire money. You'll wire money within seconds. You know, so you don't have to worry about that. That's going to be in place everywhere.
Because that's why I was wondering, should I come to New York or should I cash in down here? I was worried about that. Since we're District
Well, I mean, there's a lot of people in Puerto Rico that are going to exchange right there. I mean, like I said, you're going to be on a new banking system. You don't have anything to be worried about. There are some people that are actually going from Puerto Rico, you know, to the main island, you know, but they have other business that they want to take care of. But, you know, either way, you're on the SIP system. You're going to be just fine. Absolutely. And just know, you know, we've got a group of people that are coming down to help you guys rebuild when this is over. And, you know, I'm very blessed to be part of that. So I just wanted you to know, you know, I'm really sorry how the government has treated you guys. And I've done everything I can, you know, to raise money and put it in Puerto Rico. And I did put quite a bit in Puerto Rico. Unfortunately, you guys didn't get a lot of it because they stopped it. Yeah. So,
it's true.
So, I mean, just know our hearts are with you. You know, we're not all corrupt, and we're there to help you. We'd like to rebuild Texas as well, and Florida, and, you know, any other place that's had issues like California. So help is coming, and it's very soon. So just be patient.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I got confused by TNT a lot, and especially with the amount that you could only cash out, because I wanted to build a clinic with a holographic regeneration chamber in it to cure a lot of veterans and people or children that are down here. But I didn't know how much you actually needed to do something like that, since we have to get the whole thing from the Pentagon to be able to make a regeneration chamber. So
yeah, I don't know much about that kind of stuff. I don't really believe in that kind of stuff, but you know, it's just something you need to do your due diligence on. You know, I'm not gonna badmouth it because, you know, we just don't know. But I mean, you know, there's gonna be so many people out there doing projects that, you know, eventually you'll be able to team up with some of these people. So, you know, just be patient and you know, don't act too fast when this RV goes. You know, we've all been told to sit back a little bit and let everything level out. Yeah. So
don't run to the crypto guy. That's what you're telling me.
That's right. Do not run to the crypto guy. Keep your wealth.
Okay. Thank you for helping.
All right. You're welcome.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. 360, come on in.
I'm going to run. Huh?
You're going to run? Are you getting tired, Nan?
I got to go to my
Hold on,
granddaughter's
360.
game tonight. Yeah.
All right. Well, we love you, Fancy Nancy. Thank you for coming in.
Yes, it was great talking with all of you. See you at the bank. Remember, money is coming to me. If money's coming to me, money's coming to you. Don't forget that. You have a great, great day and great weekend. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Good to hear from you, Nancy. Thank you. All right, 360, come on in.
So I have a friend in Canada that can't call in, so I got a text with a question. What are your boots saying reference timing?
Boots are still saying that this can go around the 19th, but they're still telling us our back wall of March 31st. They're ready. They're geared up. They're trained to do this, and that's as far as it goes. They're not talking about anymore. It's because there's a lot of operations going on right now, and, you know, we don't want to screw those operations up. So that's as far as we can take it. So, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. 928, come on in.
Hello. This is Christine. I hate to ask this question because we have talked about it a lot, but the more I think about the NDA, I mean, I probably have at least a half a dozen to 10 people that know about this, that I have to call them and tell them when it happens, right? And then we're going to be working with people, that we know during this. So not saying anything about it isn't going to be possible.
Well,
what are you going to do?
It depends how you talk about it. I mean, other people are going to say, some people, use excuses like, I have been part of a trust, and that's where I get my wealth. It just depends on,
those
the excuses.
10, 20 people that we know.
Well, those 10, 20 people that you know, you're still not supposed to really be talking about it. You're supposed to be just moving on.
So when you do a project with each other.
Right. You don't need to ask each other where the money came from. You need to just look at each other and say, okay, let's do this project. Right. But, it does come down to this, okay? We don't know that there's going to be NDAs for all of it, for everybody. I mean, we don't know. We know a lot of the high-up people are signing NDAs, but it doesn't mean that we're going to be signing them. So, that's still kind of up in the air. I think everybody's getting too stressed out about this. I think it's going to be a very easy process to actually exchange. So, eventually society's going to find out about this. There's no hiding it. I don't care. There's millions of people that are going to do this. So I think kind of the NDA thing was kind of a crock for people like us going in and having to sign one. So that's just my opinion.
Even if it's for a year, I mean, it's the first year that we might say something. So to that degree, based on the rates, it might be better to take what rate without an NDA. That would be a choice that you would have to make. Right.
So
okay, well,
just kind of roll with it. I wouldn't stress out on it. And the people that if there is an NDA, okay, because we don't know. If there is an NDA, that is definitely something to ask the people that are handing you the NDA. Just say, hey, I've got a group of people that I have been in this ride with. Can we talk to those people? And, odds are you're going to be able to talk to those people about it, but not people that have not been involved in it. So, I mean, you can't hide it. You all know where it came from, My little joke that I tell everybody is I'm going to purchase, I have Zim, Dong, and Dinar. So I'm going to purchase these little mugs. And you can get them, from a lot of the currency places. And what it is like one of them has a 100 T note of Zimbabwe wrapped around this mug. And I'm going to have a little mug tree in my kitchen. And I'm just going to tell people, figure it out for yourself where my wealth came from. That's it.
Maybe I'll get something with a different currency and say, all I got was this mug.
That's right.
Right? Throw them off the track.
So,
since you brought it up that Blue Roll has a NDA, is he happy?
Yes. He's very happy. Yeah. No,
nice.
Blue is happy. I mean, yeah. I mean, he's doing good. He's just respecting the NDA. A lot of people respect it. A lot of people don't want to come this far and lose it all. I mean, we've got to respect that. And they can only come so far on the journey with us, and finally, a lot of us have to take over and, give you the best info we can until the time comes. And that's what I'm doing, so, but Blue is fine. He's doing good. Okay.
Okay, perfect. All right, thank you.
You're welcome. 231, come on in.
Hey, Becky, it's me.
Hey.
I did have a question before, and it slipped away from me before we cut off.
Okay.
And I hope to have asked Nancy along with you on this. Now, in regards to the gold-backed, asset-backed currency, I know that there's new currency that's going to be released to us that will go out into population circulation, and there's the currencies that the governments use around the world in the banking business.
Right.
Now, we've been hearing for months now that China's releasing their gold-backed currency, Russia's releasing theirs, Zimbabwe's already did theirs. I haven't heard anything lately about it.
About what, ours?
Any of it. Anything to do with the asset-backed or gold-backed currency. It
well, that's
away.
our new USN. I've been hearing a lot about the USN. You know, they are actually waiting to release it, and you know, we will know when they released it, but I don't think they're going to publicly really just announce that. I think they're going to keep this as quiet as they can. You know, it's kind of like this. You know, when we get new money every so many years and they put it out there, they don't announce it. They just put it out there in circulation. And then we look at it and go, wow, this is cool. I mean, that's how it's been. And I think that that's how it's going to be. I mean, that's common sense. You know, if they make a big deal out of it, people dig into it and ask why. And they don't want people to ask why. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I just wondered why all of a sudden it went dark. No one was talking about it.
It's not dark. No, it's not real dark. I mean, I've been hearing things behind the scenes with this.
Well, I just think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're just at that end right now, and you know, when things start happening, we're gonna know.
So
I wouldn't be questioning not hearing about things.
Are these other countries doing trade in gold bonds now, or?
No, we don't trade in gold till we're actually gold back, asset backed.
Well, we don't. We don't. The governments do.
Right. So when we have our new USN and we can start trading that way, we will. You know, it's kind of like we hear about Iraq, you know, being international and being gold-backed or whatever. Okay, they can trade, you know, with gold.
That was kind of
my
good. Thinking in that same, you know, trying to understand.
Right.
Iraq has been like trying to bridge, but there's just, you know, those last couple of bricks they need to lay in the road to fill the gap
Right.
And for them to do international business with the other countries, you know,
they got to have a rate.
They have to fulfill that part of the, you know, business and trade.
Mm-hmm.
And so that tells me that they're not gold back yet.
Well, with Iraq is actually making deals. I think they are actually, but I think it has to be lined up with everybody else. You know, like when we're gold backed. You know, I think it's kind of like a different platform. You know, if they're gold backed and other countries are gold backed, I think they got trading, you know, with that gold backed currency. As far as fiat, nobody wants our dollar. Our dollar's dead. You know, so we need to be asset backed, gold backed, and once we are, we're going to have some killer trade deals. Yeah.
The other countries still have a currency that has an established rate internationally in the market and in commerce. Iraq does not.
Well, let's wait and see what happens here. I have this feeling that, you know, there's a lot that's going to be revealed here very shortly. So, but I got to move on, man. I got to keep going here.
Bye.
All right. Good to hear from you. All right. 314, come on in.
Thank you, Becky, for taking my call again. One other question I didn't get to ask earlier.
Sure.
Do you have any information regarding prosperity packages?
I don't. The only thing we're having a little conflict about the prosperity packages because over this weekend we were told that prosperity packages were supposed to actually go out and be paid. So we're waiting for confirmation that any of them have been. So far, there's nothing. So I really don't. I don't have a lot of info on the prosperity packages. So there's several different prosperity programs. So, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I know there's tons
Sorry
of them.
about that.
Thank you.
I mean, if we're still here on Wednesday and I do a call, I'll see if I can get someone to come in and talk about those.
Okay.
But I'm not a part of that, so I really haven't looked into it much. But
understand.
All I know is, yeah. All right. Thank you, Annie.
Thanks for your time. Okay. Thanks. Bye-bye.
214, come on in.
Hello, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
It's first time doing work. Good. I'm trying to find out if you have all your currency in your trust. Is that okay? They will accept it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. Because I signed all mine in my trust, so that's what I wanted to know.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. That was my question.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. 715, come on in.
Hi, Becky. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. I apologize. I came into the call kind of late. I was home and I didn't get to the call at the very beginning, but I listened to part of Tony and Ray's call, and they were trying to say that on the Zimbabwe there's a cap that we can only go in on our first exchange appointment for $10 million cap on it, and they have to go in and cash the rest at a later date. Have you heard anything about that?
Yeah, we did address that. And I had Fancy Nancy on the call. And, I'm really hoping that you can go back and listen to the playback on that so you can understand that more. Yeah. We talked about that in the beginning of the call because, it's not something we believe in. We still believe that the Zim exchanges are going to be very simple. No zeros off. There's not going to be zeros added. The way they're calculating it, I don't know. It's like a lot of crack smoking is going on. We're tired. We don't want to hear any more BS about exchanges changing or anything like that. We're just trying to focus and just remember what we've been taught. And, we've had a lot of bankers, investors. They've all told us, how these Zim bonds are going to be exchanged. And I'll tell you, some of the information that's out there is just not good. So, just keep focused. You'll be all right. So, yeah, just go back and hear the playback, okay?
I have a different question.
Sure.
My question is this. I have a tax-exempt number for my ministry. It's called AGM, Amazing Grace Ministries. And since I'm tax-exempt, if I was to put some money into that account, I'm very confused because it's new to me, something I don't know a lot about, just got the account recently. And people are telling me that I would have to be taxed on the money before it went into my tax-exempt account. That's so confusing. Mm-hmm. Could they tax me first?
Well, but we're hearing they're not going to make it a taxable event. If your whatever you call it, a foundation or whatever you want to call it, if it is it a charitable?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's tax exempt. I mean, you don't have to worry about that. That's why a lot of people have kind of preached to us that we need to get charitable trust because it's tax exempt. But if you didn't have a charitable trust and you do your exchange and you put it into a non-interest bearing account, you're not going to pay taxes. But if you put it in an interest-bearing account, you're going to get charged taxes because you're making money on that interest. So you should be fine, though. This should be a tax-free event. That's what we keep hearing. I mean, over and over, it's a tax-free event. And the logic for that is if you were to go to like a TravelX or something right now and purchase currency to go to another country, and let's say you don't use all of it and you come back and you turn it back in, you going to get charged for that tax-wise to turn it back in? No. That's where a lot of people are kind of misdirected right now. We got to use our common sense here. It should be a tax-free event. You'll be fine.
Okay. I just want to really tell you that I think you're one of the sweetest talkers for a person I've heard in a long time. I can really tell one thing about your talking. You love God a lot, and it really comes across in a strong, strong way. So I want to say I love you, sister in Christ. I appreciate you, and I look forward to either meeting you on heaven or earth, either one. You sound like a real sweetheart, honey. And, I don't know you yet, but I love you.
Thank you.
I do.
And God bless you guys.
I can tell you're the real thing, sweetheart. I just appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
Blessings to you and your whole family, honey.
Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. So we are going to wrap this call up, and I'm not going to play out with music. I'm kind of getting tired, but I just want you guys to know that, don't forget our Marine. I'm not seeing any kind of donations coming in to help him, and I'm going to ask you guys from the bottom of my heart to give him some help. We've got to get him stabilized and, with a roof over his head and get his brakes fixed. So I'm not going to take your call 240. I'm done for the day, so exit from the queue. We'll be back on Wednesday. If we have not seen an RV, obviously, it'll be at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and we'll just see where we're at that point. But let's just play it by ear and get through this. My email, guys, if you want to donate for our Marine Doug, it's Becky at wavocal.net. You can use that through PayPal, through friends and family. Just do what you can do. Please do what you can do, because we are trying to help these people, and we're all just trying to stay afloat here. We're so close to the end of this that, we just got to, pick each other up, and just do what you can do. So anyway, I'm glad to be back. I missed all of you guys, and let's do a call on Wednesday. I am deciding that I will do one call after this RV is released. I want to make sure you're all okay. I want to make an announcement that my Skype room is now closed for any kind of enrollment, so don't ask. I've got so many people in there right now. But you guys have my email, and I will keep my email when this is over. So if you got any questions, you can always email me. So I know it was kind of a rough call today. There was a lot of confusion with TNT and everybody else, but it's not that I'm trying to be mean. I just want you guys to understand, to me in my heart, it's really important for you guys to stay focused, and it's really important for me to know that you guys understand exactly how much money you are going to be dealing with here. And, just you got to understand, just one 100 T-note of Zim, what that could do for your life. And if you've been out there and you have collected this stuff for a long period of time, you're looking at a lot of money. And I just really hope that you use your discernment when it comes to, business deals and everything else. So I know everybody needs the help right now financially. I get this. I'm one of them, okay? But understand, this wealth can be taken away from you overnight if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, or if you mishandle it or mistrust the wrong person with it. So I just want you to think about that, because those are things I think about, and that is why I have put together my security team, because in the end here, my security team will run backgrounds on everybody that I am dealing with in my life, because I'm not going to be taken for a ride. I got a lot of projects to do, and I look forward to meeting a lot of you on some of these projects. So with that being said, I want to thank Tamara for coming in with a beautiful prayer and teaching. I want to thank Lisa in the background for taking care of my boards. Definitely want to thank Fancy Nancy for coming in and sharing some time with us today, and anybody that has come in and just, shared their thoughts. I thank all of you guys for being here. Stay focused, okay? And it's going to be okay. It's not as difficult as you guys think it is. So with that being said, just do your best to help our Marine, and, just know that we are just about there. There's so many changes going on right now. So, all right, I love you guys. Take care, and we will resume on Wednesday. All right, thanks.